When it comes to the problem of Old Testament violence, is there a way to conclude that the texts aren't in error? That Joshua, 1 Samuel 15, and Numbers aren't really showing a error regarding the commands, that like this is just the human projection onto God, but that's not really what God commanded? Is there a way to avoid saying the texts are in error? Well, here's a way. Step one, initially you need to assess things. You need to locate these violent texts within their specific covenantal context using a three horizon method: textual, covenantal, and canonical. Step two, you need to look at a hermeneutical framework, namely, recognize that covenant obligations genuinely change through a typological progression. What God genuinely commanded under one covenant may be forbidden under another covenant. Step three is a Christological application. So you need to trace that development through covenant progression, showing how violent obligations reach transformed fulfillment in Christ. So this is a not rejection of the text, but this is the showing the transformation of the text. Step four is divine character assessment. Namely, you need to affirm God's character of holy love, expressed differently through progressive covenants. So the same holy love that required Israel to execute judgment now forbids the church from doing the same thing. So this gets rid of the objection that, hey, this Old Testament violence is like a blueprint or can be used or is justifiable for today's violence. No, we're under a different covenant, namely the new covenant. Step five is final resolution. So you need to understand violent commands as genuinely divine, requiring reasons that God has on the pain of irrationality within their covenant context, that are now fulfilled and transformed by Christ's work. So this is a five-step method to avoid saying that these are in error. Namely, these really are the commands of God, and they were justified or explainable in terms of their covenantal context. And this contrasts with another approach that doesn't look at God's full character, that doesn't look at the covenant context, and instead ends up concluding that these texts, because they seem unloving, that therefore they couldn't represent God, and therefore they're errors in text. My covenant virtue ethics avoids saying that, and it does so in part through these five steps. I hope that's helpful.